Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Stacey and Company show. Stacey Ericson channels messages from your higher self and other realms. Connect with your own unicorn and dragon. Step into this magical realm now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. I'm Stacey Ericson. Over the past few years, I've become an inspirational medium and animal intuitive, bringing connection to you and your higher self, delivering messages from the other realms. Today's show, we have beings from the other realms here. They're very excited, by the way. A couple of them outside my window right now, and they've been banging on it all morning. So they're fairies, mermaids, and other benevolent beings that we have available to us now. And we'll get into that in just a few minutes. So I developed this show to help people understand the natural world and other realms. There is so much information that wants to come forward. Obviously, you know, like I just said, these guys are out here hanging out and wanting to speak. But they come forward from everywhere. So it could be other realms, it could be trees, it could be the air itself. Lately, it's actually been love. Love has been a huge part of what's happening in the world right now, that we need to have a lot more of it. And so people are really starting to feel into this emotion of love, and it's powerful, super, super powerful. So it's wonderful that we're getting there. So what's happening with this is that the realms and the veil are starting to get thinner and thinner. And we're going to go into that a little bit more in just a few minutes, because that's going to help explain who these other beings are and where they're coming from. If you viewed this show later on and have any questions from a show in the past or previous time, you're very welcome to ask questions here right now. If you want to, you can just ask them over here in the comments. And hello to everyone that's here joining me. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So next week's show, we're going to have animals that have transitioned or are in spirit. Please send a picture of your pet to, I think we'll put up our email address. You can email me the picture, or you can actually text me the picture, either one. And you can also send a couple questions for that pet to see what's happening to it on the other side. Some pets do come back to you. So some of them might even say that they're here now. We just have to find out where they are. And anyway, so that's next week, and it'll be a lot of fun to have those pets as guests. That's fun. So I've been able to communicate with animals ever since I can remember. The animal I most communicated with and learned many other skills from was my pony, Pearl. She was an abused horse that my family acquired for me because I had a unique connection with her and she with me. I was 9 years old when I got her, and she taught me all about myself and how horses respond through emotions. I learned how to recognize my own emotions and clear thought. She helped me understand the different ways to communicate through telepathy and entrainment. So telepathy is the mind-to-mind connection where you receive information about likes and dislikes as well as other thoughts. And then entrainment is the heart-to-heart connection where you receive information on a deeper level. You can tap into future events, past lives, other realms, as well as other things personal to you and them. You can also get health information and things like that. It's a really cool way to communicate. And once again, that brings in that feeling of love, and everything comes from the heart when you're speaking to them. So this is what you can do to communicate with these beings that we're going to talk about today, as well as, you know, pets and animals and squirrels in your backyard, whatever you have, they're all available to us to speak to. So it's really a lot of fun. Let's see here. So I was just looking at some questions here. Would love to know any animal totem, etc., that are with me and guide me. Oh, Tracy, you're so cute. there are animal totems, and that's really interesting. We should get into that in another show for sure. You do have a dragon with you, just so you know, along with your unicorn, and your dragon is gold and green. It's really beautiful. So, okay. So as we're going to move on here, the Earth is going through a massive shift right now, and it's really interesting and fun. I know it's tough for us to believe, that the world is actually going in a great direction because of all this other stuff that's happening that's negative. But there's so much happening right now that is super, super positive. And it's really important to recognize that this is all for the better good of everyone and everything in the world. It's a lot of fun. So the Earth is actually going through this massive shift, and we are too with her. There's a lot of things. Even the unicorns that I read have changed and have, well, thank you, Tracy, have changed and have been very, I don't know, they're just more advanced now. It's like we're really stepping into like this new thing. So it's very cool. So the massive shift that Earth is going through, though, is kind of like these layers of Earth that are being removed and cleansed. So think of it like an archaeological dig. So we're removing these layers of Earth, and as we're doing it, we're starting to reverse new timelines. Create new timelines and reverse the old timelines. We're creating new history, and we're also uplifting these benevolent beings. These new beings are coming in that have never really existed before, but yet that we know of because they're so down deep, just like an archaeological dig, when they didn't know that the dinosaurs were here until they started to dig them up, right? So it's kind of like that, where we're discovering all of these new things about Earth, and she is just blowing our minds, to be honest with you. It's pretty incredible, like all this stuff that's happening, and so cool for all of us. It's also affecting us in our bodies and in our minds as well. So we're starting to shift and change and create new things for ourselves and try to understand things from a different point of view. That's what's happening in the world right now, and it's a lot of fun, like I said, to learn about. So keep learning, keep loving, and keep enjoy. So we'll start with some beings you already know today. The first ones are the fairies and the mermaids. Both have been here since the beginning of time, pretty much, and they're super magical. Now, mermaids don't have as clear or as kind of a of a history. In fact, they relate them more to a negative side of things. But in reality, mermaids are very good. They're amazing beings that help the fish. They cleanse the water. They create spectacular energy in places of the Earth, and especially down deep nowadays, because what's happened is that mermaids are real. They're actually going to find them. Well, you can look them up actually on the History Channel and stuff like that. They have found these beings in the water that are unexplained. And they're at deep, deep, deep levels. And obviously, we don't know as much we know more about the moon than we know about our own water. So in our own oceans. So as far as I know, and I believe because I have met them, I know that the mermaids are real. They're in this time. They're not in another realm. So mermaids are really cool. They, once again, they help with cleansing the water, recognizing, they actually bring emotion to the water as well to help spread it. So they work with the whales and all of those guys because they're on an upper level, whereas the mermaids are way down deep, really far down. So I'm going to tell you a story about how I know that they are real. It was purely accidental, to be honest with you. I watched a show when I was working out at my farm in probably, I don't know, a while back. And it was one of the History Channels, like Ancient Mysteries and things like that, which is really fun to watch, right? So watched that show and thought, well, yeah, okay, all right, whatever. I don't really kind of believe in them. But I thought that it was really neat that they were thinking that they existed. So same thing with the unicorns. I told you guys I didn't really believe in them, but now I totally believe in them. So anyway, so the mermaids came to me one night. It was when I first moved into this house. And once again, this house is right near the water, like we had discussed in the past shows. And it introduced a lot of new beings to me because out where I lived before, I learned more about the fairies and the sort of like the earthly animals, not necessarily the water animals. I wasn't totally connected to like whales and dolphin and things like that, like a few of my friends. So I've definitely been introduced to some new beings, and one is the mermaid. And one night when I was sleeping and I woke up in the morning, and I was actually light in my bedroom, so I had woken up, but I wasn't fully awake yet. I was in that state of I don't know what you call it, but it's like a twilight state. It's like where you're awake but you're not awake, so you know that whatever it is real. And I was laying there in my bed, and I felt this like this body hugging me. Now, you guys, I'm very, very claustrophobic. I can't even sleep in a sleeping bag with it completely zipped up. So I'm super claustrophobic when it comes to being like hugged and, caught up in covers and things like that. It's not for me. So I started to panic because I was wondering what it was that was holding on to me. And I asked, and it was like, I'm a mermaid. And I was like, holy crap, but you have to get off me because this is like way too much restriction. And so I started to panic. But then all of a sudden I felt like this, and what they are long fingers with, webs in between. And I felt the cold, ice cold hand on my ankle, and I flipped out. I rolled out of bed very quickly, and then and said, please don't do that again. And asked later and spoke to them later, through telepathy. Turns out that mermaids are like totally black because they have to hide in that lower depths of the ocean. So it's like, it's really, really deep, like I said, where they are. I mean, 2,000 feet or more is, where they live. They have gills on the sides of their face. Their eyes are, kind of like my glasses, but much prettier. Black. Everything is black. There's nothing there. They're hardly even reflective because they don't need to be in the water. They have excellent eyesight. It's almost like they could see, like night vision, that type of thing. Really interesting characters. And they have these fangs for teeth because they do shred fish. They eat fish, obviously, underwater. And I guess it's not obvious, but it's obvious to me. So anyways, so they're really beautiful, though, in their own right. But they're definitely not the mermaids that we've seen drawn, or the mermaids that we've seen, people talk about in the past in history books and things like that. But they are definitely there, and they do a lot for the ocean energetically is where they're working right now. Along with us as people, we're also working with this energy of the earth and, like I said, uplifting all this new stuff and bringing forward some cool new timelines as well. So now we'll move into the fairies. The fairies are really, really interesting little characters. They're, I just love them so much because they're so much fun. So they are ones that they bring a lot of joy, and they bring a lot of energy of joy and happiness to the plants around them. They help create the beauty in all of the plants and the energy of the plants when you're with them. So like, flowers and even mushrooms. People like mushrooms, not just to eat, but also to look at because they're so beautiful. Well, why are they so beautiful? Because little fairies are helping out with their energy. So the fairies are there to help as well. And they also, welcome in the bugs, and they welcome in the birds, and they welcome in butterflies. All that kind of stuff that's related to our outer world of the natural world is fairy oriented. They're very magical, just like the mermaids. The mermaids create magic as well in the water. And they're very understanding of how, things relate to other things. So they want to welcome humans into their world. And so they do this in a joyous way. And when you're out in the woods and you're walking around, definitely call in the fairies because they will be there for you like lickety split. They show up like instantly and they start talking to you. And the one way to hear a fairy is you're going to hear them be like this little high chirpy noise. And you can ask them to slow it down, slow their speech down, and then you can actually understand and hear what they're saying. It's a very cool experience I've had before. I was sitting under a tree out in the arena teaching a lesson. And I know I've told you guys this story once before, but, and there was a cow behind me that was eating grass. And so you could like hear him tearing the grass with his tongue. It was so neat. And so I heard this little like, and I was like, what the heck is that? And I looked down at my feet and I saw these little bright lights. So that was one experience that was really cool. And then they started talking to me. And fairies come in all shapes and sizes. They can be, a little larger. They could be boys and girls. It's all of that too. Mermaids are also male and female. They're mostly one size though. And the fairies are really interesting because they're able to reflect to you things. So whatever it is that you're going through, they can help you with it. So you can sit with the fairy and actually talk to them about, if you're having a sad day, they'll come and sit next to you and cheer you right on up. It's really cool to see them. And it's a lot of fun to interact with them. So that's one other story I wanted to tell you about the fairies, and this was really interesting. And so this is like, you can definitely see them. I just want you to know this. You can absolutely see them. They're little sparkles. That's how they come to me, are these little tiny sparkles. They're in the trees at night sometimes. You'll see like a little sparkle on something, or you'll see little sparkles in the grass. So one day I was sitting next to my pond out by out at the farm, and I was sitting. We had just laid to rest one of my favorite ponies, Sparky. I just love him so much, and we'll talk about him next week. But anyway, so I was talking to him, and I looked out into the water, and there was no sun, no nothing to, like it was just a kind of like a dull gray day. And I looked out in the water, you guys, and just all of these sparkles just spread out all over the top of the water. And then they started to like filter right up into the grass, right at my feet. And it was the coolest thing to see it, all this sparkling. I couldn't believe it. I was like, what the heck is that? And then they told me, they said, we're the fairies. We want you to know that we are here and that we can show you that we are here. And then they started talking to me, and it was just lovely. They were dancing and singing and having such a great time, and totally cheered me up and helped me, release some things that I needed to for my experience with my pony. It was very cool. So anyway, so just so you know, fairies are really amazing and awesome to talk to and communicate with and get information from as well. And we go back to that telepathy and entrainment is how you communicate with these beings. All right, so now comes the fun part. There's actually some new beings that have come up for me, at least. I don't know. I know I've heard of some other people that have heard of these different types of beings, and then we all see them a little bit differently because, in our interpretation in life anyway, we see people differently, even though they're standing right in front of us. So these new beings that I've been communicating with and have been having a lot of fun with, actually, they're really, really cool, are they've been around for quite some time here at my house and on Earth. And with all this great shift that we're going through, they're helping with a lot of different things. So these beings, I call them the tree people. Now, you guys know how much I really enjoy being with trees and really love to express how important trees are. So these tree people are here, and they're pretty amazing. They're very tall, very elegant, and they walk with like their branches. They're kind of long arms, branches that are arms, and then legs that are kind of like stilts, but they're still kind of branchy. And then they have a head, and I know I explained this to you last week, with little branches on top of their head for hair. It's kind of funny, but it's cool. They want to resemble people so that they can, so people can relate to them and understand them a little bit better. So most of what we see, we do relate to people in a way. Like I said to you last week with the faces in the trees, they have these beautiful different faces, that show us that they have these sort of human qualities and or animal qualities, either way. And so these tree people do too. They're very elegant. They're beautiful. They're quiet. And when they move slowly, but with big strides. So they do move about quite easily. So it's really kind of neat. And what they do is they come out of the tree and then they blend back into the tree. So they kind of hug the tree and hold on to the tree. It's really, really cool. I mean, very, very interesting how these people move about. Hi, everybody who's just joined me. Thank you. So the reason why I feel like they're here, they add support to the trees. Now, what I've been seeing them do is they stabilize the tree energy and help Earth cleanse the water, pollution, and like stuck energy in the air. So they're helping the trees sort of do this a little bit more because trees got tired. They got tired of being on their own and they needed some help. And so these beings are helping the energy and creating more. So it's really cool. They're so happy to be recognized right now and have been here, like I said, for a little while longer than the other beings that I've going to talk about after we get done with this one. Depending on the tree and on its oh, wait, hang on a second. They are infusing the trees with blue crystals. Now, this one I thought was really cool. And I just got this information today. It was really cool. It's like a blue, it's crystals. And I don't know why crystals. Crystals are huge right now for us. I think that the earth is really starting to change into like a crystalline being. And so crystals are important. So we've got crystals everywhere, you guys. And so these trees or these tree beings are actually placing these crystals inside the heart of the tree. Now, some of them are blue, some of them are white, some of them are aquamarine, some of them are green. It all depends on what the tree's purpose is and where the tree is at. So it's kind of interesting. So like up in the, like say Montana, that area and Idaho and whatnot, there's a lot of trees that have blue. And then on the lower side, when near lakes and streams, they have green. I'm not sure why, but that just seems to be what I'm seeing. And the aquamarine trees are down here, a lot of aquamarine and, you know, by the ocean. And then the white is the crystal trees. And those guys are, oh, I just got goosebumps. Crystal trees. And those guys are like older trees. They're kind of like the bright lights of everything. It's really neat. And so anyway, so what it is then since these crystals are in these trees, they all kind of blend together like a grid. So, you know, like they'll shoot out a light or a beam from one tree to the next tree and then to the next tree to the next tree. And it'll go out in all these different directions to all these different trees. And it's creating a new energy of Earth right now. It's helping us progress in our being and become more healthier, more full of love, which is bringing health, and just amazing energy. I can't even explain it other than that. Now, what it does too for us is it connects us to them and to ourselves. So the best way to explain this is like the movie Avatar. If you ever watch that movie, it's a really cool movie because it has so many different meanings. And but anyway, that's one way that I can explain how this, you know, these crystals are working inside these trees, and they're really connecting everybody as one, which is the whole purpose of all of us, which is really cool. So the next beings I saw, or I've been seeing, now these guys I don't really understand quite yet. And the reasons why is because I believe that they are super, super high in their existence. So the things that they say to me are, they say they are benevolent beings that have never existed. They say that love is the greatest emotion there is. Through love, the energy of everything thrives. So pretty much that sums it up for, you know, the whole purpose of this show, but also for the idea that these people, or these beings, I should say, are here in the world right now, is they are emanating and spreading love. Now, these beings are thin. Some are thick. It's pretty neat. I mean, it's like, okay, so you have like and none of them are exact. Like there isn't any exact features. Like I can't really tell you what they look like because I can't really see faces. So they're just these tall, life-like beings that have really some, like I said, I'm just going to explain one of them to you that's showing me right now. It's tall and it's really long and it has like scarves all over it. And then there's one like a red scarf, or actually it's pink, but it's like the really bright, dark pink, like that raspberry color. That's it, the raspberry color pink. That's what, and it's a girl. Anyway, and the scarf goes up around her like this, and at the top of her head, it just sticks straight up. And the whole thing is that they kind of move and wave like water. So I don't know what was the name of these kind of things. That's what I'm saying. These benevolent beings, I'm not sure what their names are. I just don't know. I'm not really good with names, you guys. But as you see them the way that you're going to see them now that we're talking about them, I'm sure that they'll start showing their name or saying their names to you, or whatever it is that you call them. The tree beings are, one of my friends actually told me what she got for their names, and I can't remember what it was, but I'll look it up and I'll make sure I say that in the next show. But these benevolent beings that I'm talking about right now, I just started seeing. And when I was in Ohio, sitting in my apartment, it was really crazy because I was thinking about my house down here. And they started talking to me from there, saying that they were here in the house and they were waiting for me to return. Now, at the time, I wasn't going to return for quite some time. I was supposed to stay in Ohio for a full year, but I didn't end up doing that because of COVID and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so when I got home here, I was like, where are you? Where are you? You know, I was looking around for them, and I started walking on the beach, and then I could see them like in the sand and stuff. Like I started drawing them in the sand, and they said that I would start drawing them eventually, but you know how it is, you get busy. so we'll see. But they're scarf like, they're kind of like they move like a scarf, and they're, once again, some of them are a little bit bigger, some of them are very light and, you know, very, very thin. And they're all, the way that I see them, they're all like pastel colors. They're not really bright. You know, they're dark and light, but they're not bright. Like, you know, like the unicorns, there's so much sparkles and all that kind of stuff. So once again, I feel in this time, they will become even more clear as the veil becomes thinner. And they, because they vibrate at such a high dimension, I feel like that's why it's, you know, difficult to see these beings. So anyway, so the last beings I would like to talk about. Now, these guys are kind of cool. And once again, this is all new stuff to me, you guys. This is stuff that I've never seen before. I've never even asked about. I didn't even know existed. Oh, that's so cool, Tracy. So Tracy said that she, my husband asked me if I healed the tree, and she said, nope, I prayed for healing and then saw faces, then poof, healed. Don't you just love it? I mean, gosh, it's so cool, you guys. We are powerful beings. We really are. And when you show honor and love to something, that energy alone is what heals. And that's what we need to do in this world nowadays. You know, show honor, show love, be there for each other, and recognize that we are so important, and that all of us are healers. Okay, so let's get back to these beings. They're like a lot of fun, actually, and they've been talking to me all day. These beings are super important because they're like warriors. So how I want to explain them, and I was trying to like figure out how to explain all these beings to you guys, because I can see them, but it's, you know, not always easy to explain. So anyway, so if you look at a lion's head, like literally a big lion, right? And you see like the really wide forehead with the longer nose, but there's like wide right around here. And then these beings have larger eyes, obviously, than a lion, but they got big, large eyes because they look more humanoid, is what they say. They say that we're more humanoid. So once again, they're relating to us being more human-like, you know? So anyway, so they have these big oval, beautiful eyes, and their eyes are like blue and aquamarine and just bright, really bright colors. Some of them are like a gold color with it, you know, their eyes are gold. It's just this really interesting. But anyway, and so their noses come down and they're long, but they're wider. Between their eyes is, you know, wide, and the noses come down, and then their noses sort of look like, you know, ours do at the end, but they're just so much wider. Like I said, like a lion sort of face, you know, it just wide, everything's wide. And they're really brawny type. They're very muscular, and their hair, oh my gosh. So get this is crazy cool. So their hair, I can't even describe it because I'm not even sure what it is. All I do is I see lots of it. It's very long and it's gorgeous. Most of these beings are women, by the way, these beings are. And their hair is like, it has ribbons and like dreadlocks, and like, it's a culmination of all of Earth. So it has branches and trees, and I mean, just, it's insane. Their hair is just crazy cool. I'm going to have to get a little bit more, you know, clear with my mind's eye to see them a little bit better. So yeah, you're right, Tracy, but we ignore those people because we know the truth. So anyway, so these beings are warrior-like, and they're powerful in their nature, and they walk the earth, and they protect us from the dark forces. That's their job. And they have these weapons that I've never seen before. I mean, they're all kinds of like crazy weapons, like a scythe, but it's not. And, you know, a gun, but it's not. You know, it's just weird weapons that they carry. They're not really clear, and they kind of shapeshift in the weapons do. And all depending on what they need, but the weapons emit light. And so the light is what devours, or, you gets rid of these dark forces that are coming in. So eliminate the dark forces forever. That's what they just told me. So they eliminate the dark forces forever. They send them somewhere and they don't even go to heaven. They just go. And so it's really kind of interesting that these beings are here too. And they're walking, like I said, they're walking on earth. They're not in the water. They're not in your house. They're outside, walking around. It's really interesting. I see a lot of woods and places where dark beings can hide, that aren't really available to us personally, but, and these beings, these forces are, what they're doing is, okay, so these beings, the women that are these warriors, they're taking care of Earth's treasures kind of thing. So like I said to you, Earth has, these different magical powers, and they're being unearthed right now. And so that's another reason why they're showing up, is because they're the warriors of Earth, to help Earth stay pure and keep her magical powers and all the wisdom that she has to share and all that kind of stuff. And so that's their purpose, is to protect Earth, is pretty much what it is, which in turn protects us because we are part of Earth, right? So anyways, so it's amazing, like that type of thing. I recollect it too being a sort of like the tabernacle and all that kind of stuff, from the Bible, how the Crusaders, they or I forget what, the Knights Templar, whatever it was, they protected, a lot of the treasures. And so these are sort of like that type of being where they're protecting Earth's treasures and keeping them safe so that Earth can use them at a later date when she needs it. So just so cool. I mean, really, really neat. So I hope you enjoyed talking about these different beings. And I would like to hear from you guys a little bit more on it if you see anything else. I mean, there's so many of these beings from these different dimensions that, I've actually seen more than who I've explained to you. There's also like these little, and I actually drew it, and I was looking for a picture of it so I could show you. And it's really cool. But the whole thing is that these beings are so special to us, and they bring a lot of light and power to us in this world that we are in nowadays, trying to get through every single day. And I'm just looking for this picture that I drew a long time ago, and I can't find it. But anyway, I'll find it and I'll show it to you guys next week. But the whole thing is that I want you to start letting me know if you see these beings, because I'm telling you, it's really, really cool. Like if you see it in your living room, then all of a sudden you'll just see something out of the corner of your eye and you'll be like, what the heck was that? Can't believe I just saw something. I know I saw something. And then just ask, and they'll tell you who they are and what they are and why they're here. And I mean, there's a lot of them. Last night I had one of you, Judy, that's who it was. There's a few of you guys that have been sending me videos of things that you've been catching on video and online, like orbs and things like that. And those are also beings that are here, of course, to help us understand new things. And hi, Nancy, and understanding the world around us, right? But these other beings are here for Earth. And so it's amazing. I can't even tell you how cool it is. So definitely want to hear from you about those. Now, I also would like to remind you guys, since you're all here again, that the next week's show is going to be on the spirit, the animals that are in spirit or who have transitioned, your pets that have been released from Earth. So please send me a picture of them to my email address with 2 questions that you'd like to know about. And let's see what they have to say and where they are and all that kind of stuff. Some of them do come back to you in the same lifetime. I'm sure you've seen A Dog's Life. I think that's the name of the movie. But not all of that is absolute, but sometimes it is. So it's really interesting to see. So Tracy, let's see. So I've been told I was a mermaid in a past life. I firmly believe that since I have collected tattoo, etc., and never knew why. Yeah, there's been quite a few of us that have been all different things. I mean, you can imagine you're a being of light. And so you've had several lifetimes, and a lot of these beings that I mean, we've been everything, to be honest with you. We really have. You know, a lot of us have experienced tons of lifetimes. I mean, thousands of lifetimes. And it's really interesting because Earth is very old, just so you know. She is a very old planet. And actually the universe is really old too outside of Earth. There's other planets. So there's a ton of things that we could be for sure. So it's a lot of fun though, isn't it? To like, you know, sort of look back and see what it is that you might have been. And it's interesting, you know, and it does fall into, because your soul never changes. That's something else I wanted to let you guys know, because that came up today with one of these beings. It was the mermaids, actually. Your soul never changes. You're born that soul and you stay that soul or spirit. Your spirit never changes, I should say. And so you are who you are in every single lifetime. And it's just the new vessel that you're in. So that's how I can kind of explain it to you a little bit. Yes, you're absolutely right. So start the soul path feels so right. Finally home, love Mother Earth, Gaia, teaching about it all. Oh, that's cool. That's great. I'm happy that you're teaching it. So Tracy said, yes, I am a light worker now and share with others how to start their soul path. Feels so right. Finally home. Love Mother Earth, Gaia, and teaching about it all. And that's exactly right. I mean, Earth right now needs our help. And these beings also need recognition and honor for what they're doing as well. And I'm so happy that they're here today. I mean, honestly, they've been, like I said, knocking on the window all day long today. So I've been trying to write down all these different messages. Oh, I forgot to do this. Hang on a second. Here we go. We got the fairies. Okay, so these guys wanted me to give you this message too. Almost forgot about their message. So the fairy message is, we are here to bring a joyful energy to all the plants, grass, woodland areas you see, to help people remember that plants, bugs, and animals work together to provide beauty, food, and stability to the earth. Say hello out loud when you are out in the garden. We will answer in the way you receive us. So they're so cute, aren't they? So then the mermaids also said this. They said, love is a powerful energy that the water carries all over the planet. Oh, I just got goosebumps. All inhabitants of the water ask that you respect them and send them love when you are near or playing in the water. Your energy is met with open hearts and helps the energy of peace to reign. So thank you so much to both the fairies and the mermaids for both those messages. It says, all beings are here to help each other create a beautiful world to live in, where joy, love, peace, and learning can come together as one. And then once again, I said to them, thank you for being on the show with us today, because they are so lovely for teaching us all of this new stuff that we're trying to keep, learning, but it's actually not new. It's actually old stuff. We're just remembering who we are. Like you just said, Tracy, you are a light worker, and you've probably been a light worker in every single lifetime. And so it's really interesting how, just remembering who we are helps us to feel good and to bring awesome energy into the world, which is what's needed right now. So Tracy says, I teach about the dragon all the time and today wanted fairy contact. Love it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, they're all related because they're all in their own realm. So you do know that the dragon's realm is about, the keys, and they're the keepers of the keys and codes. So very good at communicating. And then the fairies are all about the earthly realms. And so it's really cool, little elementals and things like that. There's also, I forgot to say about one more thing, and then we'll get on to our unicorn readings. So one more thing is that I have a friend who has a garden in her yard. It's all the way around the whole entire house. It's really cool. And I was over there one time meditating, and we were all sitting around talking and meditating. And then I started seeing these little beings, and they're probably about, 3 feet tall. And yeah, somewhere around 3 feet tall, maybe a little shorter, and mostly male. And I just thought this was funny because of the way they looked. They had their shirts off and they wore khaki shorts. And I thought, gosh, how clever is that? Because it's Florida, it was really hot. So I'm sure that's the reason why. But they were in the house dancing. And my friend said that she calls them nanos. So, but they seem more elf-like to me, and nanos probably fits them perfectly. So once again, you can see these different beings, everybody interprets them in a different way. the way that you see them might be a little different than what the other people see them, because, you can say my hair is blonde. Some people say platinum. Some people say, oh, it's a dirty blonde. It just depends on how they see it. And so you'd be the same way, but it's so much fun to explore and learn more from each other about these beings and have some fun with it for sure. So it's 3:40. So I wanted to go ahead and start doing whoever wants their unicorn read. Does anybody have any more questions, by the way, about today's show at all? No, I don't see any. Would anybody like their unicorns read? So I'm going to tell you about the unicorns again. So the unicorns, there's 3 different ones that I see, and they all relate to you and who you are. So the first unicorn I usually see is related to the unicorn that is with you in this moment in time, your soul purpose and your soul being, and what you're working on right now while you're in this body. The second unicorn I see sometimes shows up, sometimes doesn't. Will tell you about your past life, or sometimes it tells you about something that you've worked on in your past life, karma, things like that, but good stuff. It's always good. And then the third unicorn everybody has, and that one is this bright, shiny, gorgeous, beautiful unicorn, and that is your God spark. And almost always it's white, and the most, brightest unicorn that you have to put sunglasses on to look at it. It's so beautiful. So, oh, good. Okay, so we've got 2 people. So Tracy, so your unicorn is, let's see. Oh, and then the body colors. That's what I wanted to tell you. I have to write this stuff down, you guys. So the body colors are what you're working on. And then the mane and tail colors are all about your tools that you're using for it, for the purpose of whatever your body colors are. So Crystal would love a unicorn, but her comments are not going through. Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so I don't know. Please, and a big thank you. Okay, so let's go up to Tracy first. So Tracy, your unicorn is, oh wow, it's really cool. So your unicorn is like a raspberry pink. And I just got goosebumps. And it has orange in it. And this is the body. It's raspberry pink with orange. And then wow, so that's it. So for right now, that's it. So, and then the mane has some green. There's blue, like an electric blue. And a little bit of red. And then you got white. So there's actually more to these unicorns, you guys. So you guys can go to my website if you want like a full unicorn reading. It's raspberrylight.com. You can definitely check out the website and, get a reading from me through the website too, because sometimes you get more information than you do today because it's only like a quick reading. So, so Tracy, the raspberry pink is all about unconditional love. So right now you're working on creating more unconditional love for the world around you, for the people you're it's deep, really deep. You're working on this like big time. You're showing love to everything. That's probably how you healed that tree, because that just love is just emanating from you endlessly, and it's gorgeous. Your orange in there is you're doing this in a creative way. So when you're sending this amazing unconditional love and showing it and teaching it and trying to walk it out into the world, actually you are walking it out into the world, you're doing it creatively. So you can oh, it's just crazy. That's like so cool. So we're just going to go on to the main now, because like I said, I could take probably 15 minutes to read just your unicorn. So the green is all about healing. So you're definitely a healer. That's what you do. Is the green in this case is you heal people. The electric blue is you use your voice a lot to speak whatever it is that you are doing. There's some red there, and red just means that there's something that's waiting for you to do. You need whatever you feel like you need to do. The time is now. Go ahead and do it. Don't put it off any longer. And then the white is clear love, like you are showing There's no negativity at all, like none whatsoever. And this whole process of what you're going through with this raspberry pink and orange, obviously unconditional love doesn't allow for anything negative anyway. So that's pretty amazing. Like that's pretty awesome. All right. Like I said, if you guys want, full unicorn reading, please, you can call me, text me, email me, whatever, at raspberrylight.com. That's my website. And then, so let's see. Crystal would love her unicorn red. So Crystal, let me just tap into you and see what you're about. So Crystal. Oh, wow, we got a lot of love today. So Crystal, yours is a light pink. And there's yellow in yours. So that's in the body. So light pink and yellow. Wow, that's really pretty. And then there's green, purple, orange. So I'm just going to do 3 colors of the main. So the light pink is about love for yourself. So you're working on creating, oh, you're welcome, Tracy. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Yes, doing video readings and just read a book on chakra system. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Awesome. I love it. Thank you for that confirmation. So Crystal, the light pink is all about you loving yourself. You're working on love for yourself right now, and you're doing it in a nice, gentle way so that you can emanate that out into the world. The yellow is all about in a joyful way. So you're creating more joy and wanting to feel very happy through this process. And you're doing it, or else I wouldn't be able to tell you. That's the other thing about these unicorns, you guys, is that I can't read them unless you are absolutely doing it. This is not forward or backwards or anything. It's like, it's right now. So it's really cool. And then you're healing some things, Crystal, but it's actual health-wise. I feel like you're healing something, for your body that's health-wise. And then the purple is all about, your belief in the like God and the majesty of God, and having that power of, pulling down that God-like energy once again, or source, whatever you want to call it. I call it God because I grew up Catholic, so it's just what I do. But anyway, that's where that's coming from. So you're pulling down God's light, God's energy, and all of that stuff. But you're also working with angels and ascended masters and all of that kind of stuff too. And they're actually helping you heal much faster. So that's very cool. And then the orange is in this creative mindset, which is probably the fact that you're using the ascended masters and angels and whatever else there to help you create this energy of love for yourself and this beautiful joy. All right, so let's see who else. So Nancy. Oh, Nancy, you're so cute. So Nancy says, you're a unicorn. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me look here and see what your unicorn looks like. So your unicorn, Nancy, is, it's purple. Oh, wow. And yours has all different color sparkles. So you can imagine like sprinkles on an ice cream cone that has like a lot of different a lot of different colors, but just imagine them like super, super, super shiny. Now, all these other unicorns are shiny too, but I didn't get into that part of the reading. So, but this is purple with those sparkles that are super shiny. And they're all colors. So all color sparkles. So purple, all colored sparkles. And then the mane, there's some black in the mane. There's white. And there's pink. I'm just gonna do 3 colors. Okay, so the purple sparkles, sorry about that. The purple is working on, once again, doing for you, purple is all about, yours is really deep. So you're working on some stuff as far as past life things, and you're pulling in the energy of, once again, of the angels and God and the ascended masters and all that kind of stuff. You're kind of incorporating all of this into your life right now and creating this beautiful colored purple that's like actually it's like this color purple, but I don't know, it looks blue on the screen. But anyway, so it's all about you doing this wonderful work with these beings that are helping you. And you're really starting to accept the world for what it is. So the all colored sparkles are about that. You're trying to, well, you're not trying, you actually are achieving it. You're doing this with no judgment, and you want to emanate that out into the world. So you're walking your talk, like you're saying what you want, and you're not holding back anything. And like I said, with no judgment is your big thing. So the black in the mane, this is really interesting. I love black in the mane because what that means is that you can take on dark stuff, like you can, like doctors have unicorns that are black because they don't allow what's happening with the patient to affect them emotionally or physically to the point where it's a detriment to their bodies. They actually just help them. You get what I'm saying? And so you're able to do that. You're able to help people without having it truly affect you, but you can get into like some dark, deep stuff, which is really powerful. The white is all about that clear. That's what saves you from that dark right there is the white. And that's all about no negativity, really not being negative at all with this whole process of the majesty and no judgment and all that kind of stuff. Oh, wow, this is cool. And then the pink is all about love. You're really using the power of love to help you achieve this. It's so neat. And like I said, there's more to these unicorns, you guys, like a lot more. You can get a lot more information, and you can go to my website at raspberrylight.com for more readings if you want to, like I said, get more information from your unicorns. That's amazing. What a beautiful unicorn. Thank you so much for letting me read these unicorns, you guys. I really appreciate you asking. So what are we doing here? Tracy, thank you. Christine Schramm, thank you. Judy, you're so cute. Oh, good. Thank you, Crystal. I'm glad you liked your unicorn reading too. Nancy. Oh, awesome, Nancy. Awesome. Thank you guys for the confirmation on all of this. Is there anybody else? Again, sorry, the comments kind of went at my screen really a little bit fast when I asked about unicorns. So I'm not sure if anybody else is available for a unicorn reading. I have probably another 3 minutes, so I can do one more if somebody wants their unicorn read. So awesome. I'm glad that you're working through your heart chakra for sure, Nancy. It's pretty powerful. Like we were just talking about today with all of the beings that were here, going through the whole thing with us today. It's all about love and how important love is. And I just absolutely thought that the one, which I can't find right now because I did write it down. Right here. So right here, I'm just going to say this again because I just love this. I mean, I just think this is so powerful. They say that love is the greatest emotion there is. Through love, the energy of everything thrives. It's just that just totally really, resonates with me immensely. I mean, immensely. So, so much fun. I know it's fun reading about your unicorns, right? Learning about what you're working on, and they're never wrong. I mean, I haven't had one be too completely off yet. So they're pretty cool. Love it. So just want to love you guys. You guys are awesome. So I just want to mention one more time that I do would like you to send in, your pets for next week. I'll probably read, I have to read them ahead of time because it's not easy to read them while we're talking and trying to do the show. There'll be a lot of silence, and that's not what we're supposed to do while we're on shows. So wanted to, make sure that you guys can, that I would like you to send me some of your animals that have transitioned or are in spirit now. We'll talk about those all next week. There's a lot to it, I have to tell you. I mean, there's different animals have guides, just so you know. I learned this from the horses. And so that's like something that was so much fun for me to learn through them. They're pretty powerful beings, and they're pretty amazing beings to learn from. So, and they're very in touch with, the spirit world and earth. And so, it's a lot of fun to talk to them. But if you could send me some of your animals, that'd be fantastic. I do have some stories from past animals that I've read, because I've read so many in the past. And, but if you send 2 questions along with your picture of your animal, I just need to see their face because, the eyes are the seat of the soul. Then we can go ahead and have them. You can send it to raspberrylight.com. There's the There's a phone number you can send it to. You can text me them. I mean, I'm fine texting. I'm fine with emails. Either way is perfectly okay. So just send a picture with 2 questions for your pets that have transitioned or are in spirit. So thank you, Tracy. It's very nice to meet you. So happy you participated today. It was a lot of fun. So I want to thank everybody for the show today. It's been an amazing show. These fairies and mermaids and the other beings that I have no names for yet. I'll thank you too. It's once again pretty amazing to be able to communicate all of this to you, and I'm so grateful that you guys have joined me today and are a part of this show. So thank you again, and please once again send me those pictures, and I will see you guys all next week.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.